Hello everyone. So this is the second part of my video which talks about the good vibe books. I'm going to talk about the two fictional books that I have shortlisted, which actually gave me a cool vibe, which made me happy while reading it. As you know, fiction is my favorite genre, so this is going to be interesting. So the first book that I'm going to talk about as part of this video is this one, which is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secret of a Universe. This is one of my very favorite teenage love story, and it's just not a love story, but it's very beautiful. It's cute actually. So it made me happy. It gave a cool vibe. It actually made me relax a lot. So what is in it? Okay, this, as you can see, Aristotle and Dante, you may get confused that it might be something related to philosophy. It is not. It's related to teenagers who became friends over swimming lessons. Actually, Ari or Aristotle, he doesn't know the swimming and he's in a swimming pool trying to float. That's where he meets Dante, who has a very different background from Ari, and they become friends. You can relate to this book a lot because it talks about the teenage. You may be able to remember few of the things that you actually did in your teenage. So I was able to relate to this book a lot. It talks about the teenagers' insecurity, and this, I'm not sure how old the author is. His name is Benjamin Allaire Sainz. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. This is his name. And as you can see, there are so many awards that this book has received. Yeah, there are so many. So it's worth it, I would say. There are so many rant videos also about this book, which I do not understand why, because I liked it. It will also give you the tips about parenting, because if you look at the backgrounds of Ari and Aristotle and Dante's background, right? Aristotle is a Mexican immigrant, like his parents or his grandparents probably are Mexican immigrants. They are living at this place called El Paso, which is in USA, on the border of Mexico and USA. And you will see that he also struggles with his identity because he is an immigrant, and Dante also struggles with that a lot because Dante, despite of being Mexican, from Mexican inheritance, he is not at all, he does not look Mexican. So that's the sort of a issue that he faces, and you will realize that even we have such insecurities till now, or we had such insecurities when we were teenager, and you will be able to relate to this a lot. Now the story, how does it proceed? Once they start the swimming lessons, they become friends, and then their families meet sometimes. Ari's family is like very not so normal. Like, his brother is in prison and his mom is quite chill, but his father, he doesn't speak a lot because he has been through a war in Vietnam, and that war has somehow changed him. How loving he used to be earlier to Ari is no longer the case. Ari is like the introvert who is adopted by Dante. Dante is also pretty cool, pretty chill, and his parents are the coolest because his mom doesn't talk much. Okay, she's not very expressive like Ari. So these are the two characters which are not that much expressive, whereas his father is very expressive, Dante's father. Have you seen such families where it's rare in Asian households to say to your child that you love them? So that is the case with Ari's family. Okay, and whereas Dante's family is like all those movie wala families where people openly say that they love each other. So these are the differences that they see in each other's families. In their journey, somewhere Dante is saved by Ari in one of the accidents. Dante goes out for studying and they exchange the letters with each other, and those letters are so cute. The thing that I liked about this book is its pace. There are so many things going on in the story, but you won't feel that it is written in a haphazard manner or it is very fast. Another thing that is amazing about this book is its language. It's very simple, and there is one scene that I liked a lot in this book is when Ari saves Dante, and his mother, as we know, Dante's mother is not enough expressive, but what she does, I would like to read that to you. And we get to know about everything about Dante and this story from Ari's perspective, because Ari is our narrator. So what he says, that before she left, Mrs. Quintana, that's Dante's surname, I think, Mrs. Quintana took my face between her two hands, looked right into my eyes and whispered, "Aristotle Mendoza, I will love you forever. Her voice was soft and sure and fierce, and there weren't any tears in her eyes. Her words were serene and sober, and she looked right at me because she wanted me to know that she meant every word of what she had said to me. So this is one of the scenes that I liked a lot. There are so many such scenes in this book when they go out into the desert. So even Aristotle and Ari and Dante are two different beings. Ari suffers with a self-doubt. He is introvert. He doesn't talk or does not like to talk. He gets agitated, irritated, like most of the teenagers do. And Dante, on the other hand, is expressive, extrovert, gets lost into the poetry, and he even involves Ari in his world of a poetry. While reading this book, you will feel like that I need somebody like Dante. The hatred that this book received for no reason, according to me, made me sad because I love this book. It also has the second part to it. Another thing about this book is that it talks about the LGBTQ in a good fashion. This is something that you can read and never forget. There's another incident which tells you to be grateful in this book, is that when Ari saves Dante from an accident, Ari suffers a lot. Like he himself goes through an accident, so he gets injured in that, and for like few months, few days, he is not able to move and he's not able to do anything. So during his recovery, when he first time takes the shower, right, he mentions in his journal that I took a shower today. So this incident tells you that there are small things in our life, in our daily lives, which we do not appreciate enough. But when we are faced with such things, right, like accident or any mishap, we will get to know the importance of those things. So that's what it talks about. And Ari's connection with his brother plays an important role in this book. The next book that I am going to recommend is We Are There for Each Other by Sagar Chudesara. This is the book which is written by a new author. I think it's a debut novel by that author, and I like this book a lot because it again has a chilling vibe to it. It portrays the Hampi ruins in a book. I felt like I went there while reading this book, so that is why I like this book a lot. The story is nice. There are 4 people in this. One is Sagar, probably the author. The other one is Malar, it's Sai, and the 4th one is Harsh. Now the story goes like this. It starts with Malar being on the terrace, and she is depressed is because why she was dumped is she thinks that because she is gaining a lot of weight, and which is why she was dumped. She is one of the independent women. She works for herself, and she had this boyfriend who dumped her. And she meets her friend who lives in the same building on the same terrace. She meets him. His name is Sagar, and Sagar's friend is Harsh, who is actually a gym freak. Sagar suggests Malar to meet Harsh, and they go to the gym, and somehow, afterwards, these 4 people, Sai actually comes quite later into the picture, but I like this character a lot. Sai, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. She is South Indian girl who wants to achieve her dreams. She has a very different dreams, and when she talks about those lines also, you will like to read a lot. Another thing about this book is it has a very simple language. It is written by Indian author, so probably that also helps a lot because you can relate to it. It has many Hindi songs reference, which is hard to find in the books whenever you're reading something from the outside of the India. So that is why I would recommend this to you. The scenery and the locations explained there are so serene, so beautiful. You will feel like that you are sitting at a sunset in the evening at a sipping coffee at some cafe. So that is why it's a beautifully written. After reading this book, I sort of understood that you don't have to have the big words, huge deep words to make a story beautiful. There are very simple statements in it. One character says that thanking people will never go out of fashion, or Harsh somehow says to Malar somewhere that nobody cares how fit or unfit we are except for us. These are the statements which will still make you rethink, and yet those are very simple. Those are not like twisted statements or sentences that we see in the romance books. Another thing that I liked about this book is that it is not common. Like it doesn't tell you that how masculine a guy is. The stories that the stereotypical stories that we see where girl is very shy and guy is very strong and masculine, and thus guys do not cry in those books or in those movies. Such such content is not mentioned here. These are the very genuine 4 people who want to make life beautiful for themselves, and they are very genuine. The characters are very genuine, and Sagar, the author, has portrayed friendship very beautifully. And even if he is mentioning few of the up and downs in the life of our protagonist or our characters, still it won't make you feel too anxious. So that is another thing that I liked. Except for few of the last pages, there are not so many up and downs, but it also talks about the reality, and yet it will still soothe your heart, because it talks about the humpy, it talks about those terrace scenes, and it talks about Malar's life, her mom. So these characters I liked a lot. Another thing is that I liked its title a lot, because it actually story goes in that way, that we are there for each other. So all friends are there for each other throughout this story, no matter how many hardships those people face. So that is I find this book simple yet attractive. Sometimes simplicity is the most attractive thing around. I find the last book, We Are There for Each Other, a little bit underappreciated. So make sure to read this book too, and let me know how did you find my recommendation. Subscribe to my channel if you like this video, hit the like button, share it across with your friends who you think will find it relatable. Thank you so much for watching it till the end. Have a great day ahead. Bye.